Stewart Parnell was the former owner of Peanut Corporation of America, and he shipped tainted peanut butter to food processors all across the U.S., and that actually resulted in the deaths of 9 people and caused more than 700 people to get sick. And also, he knew about the problem and shipped the peanut butter anyway. In fact, they have direct quotes from him at the time. I think they were sent via email or something like that, or via text message, and they were able to get their hands on it in the course of the investigation. And he said, well, fuck, ship it anyway. So this is a really, really big deal. Raw Story explains, quote, prosecutors are seeking an unprecedented life sentence. The outbreak spread across 46 states in 2008 and 2009 and led to one of the largest food recalls in American history. The 61-year-old Parnell was convicted on 71 criminal counts, including conspiracy, obstruction of justice, and wire fraud, in what is believed to be the first case in which the corporate executives and plant workers were called to trial. Okay, so this is actually an issue that is being hotly debated right now. All around the internet, people are saying, hey, that's too harsh, this has never happened before. So what camp am I in? I say the exact opposite. I say absolutely try to get this guy life in prison. See, we tend to look at crimes very differently if it's not just a super direct, say, individual violently assaulting somebody and killing somebody and planning it beforehand. We find a way to compartmentalize, where if one person walks into a house with a gun and they say, get the fuck out, this is my house now, everybody agrees, oh my God, that's insane, you gotta give this guy life in prison. But if you work, on Wall Street, for example, and you do subprime mortgages where they're predatory loans and you know that the people you're lending to cannot pay them back, you know it's gonna blow up eventually, but you do it anyway, and you make them go through a process where they end up losing their house, and you end up, after you sell the mortgages, you turn around and, sell it to another company, so you're playing hot potato with massive amounts of debt, but you know you're going to get rich off of it, so you say, fuck it, I'm going to keep doing it anyway. So if you're responsible for, say, 30,000 people losing their homes because of your actions when you knew this wasn't going to work, but you did it anyway, we tend to think, well, I don't know if that person should go to jail or not. I don't know how long they should get in jail. But wait, in one case, the person may have walked in with a gun to one person's house and said, get the fuck out, I'm taking your house. But one house was taken away. In the other case, it's 30,000, and they knowingly did predatory loans where they knew it was going to blow up. They knowingly? They knowingly did that. I like how I made up a word. So why is it that, one is viewed harsher than 30,000? Doesn't seem to make too much sense, right? Apparently, if you're wearing a suit and tie and you're on Wall Street and you are in with a circle of people that all make millions of dollars, oh, well, come on, they can't be such terrible criminals. Look, they're pillars of society. They make millions of dollars. What do you mean? No, but they can be bad, and in fact, many times they can be worse. If you believe in numbers, and you look at the numbers, they were worse. They crashed the fucking economy, and then they also got bailed out, no strings attached, and the middle class and the poor bailed them out, so they continued to suffer, and the rich got away. Whether they win or lose, they got away with money. So, which is the opposite of capitalism, too, by the way, which is why true principled conservatives should be angry at that. But here we have a case very similar. If one person gives somebody peanut butter directly, and they know that that peanut butter has salmonella in it, and the person might die or get very, very sick, if one person does it, they do it on purpose, what will we say? Oh my God, that's like attempted murder. Or it's some very serious crime. This person should go to jail. But why is it that when it's at a company level, and they say, fuck it, we don't know the people anyway, go ahead, sell it no matter what, and more people, 9 people die, and hundreds of people get sick, why is it that we look at that? I don't know. I think life in prison is too harsh. Why is that too harsh? Again, if it's on an individual level, and I'm like, okay, here's some peanut butter. I know there's salmonella in it. I know you're going to get very sick or die. I would get, life in prison or something like that. I get a lot of time in prison. Why is it any different Or why are we debating it as if it's different if it's way more people and it's at a company level? You know what it is? It's the diffusion of responsibility. There's so many people involved, and then you don't know if the people who are going to get sick, if anybody gets sick, so you're just like, fuck it. I don't want to lose any more money on this. I don't want to have to throw this out. We already made the peanut butter. Can't take a loss. Sell it anyway. No, you need to make an example of people like this. Because it's in human nature to be greedy, and if you let somebody get away with this, you're sending a message, to future businessmen who are in a similar position. You're saying, I am incentivizing you to do the same thing, because you're going to get off, or it's not going to be as harsh of a punishment as it should be. So I absolutely support this, and keep in mind, there's so many examples of this, man. I mean, in China, for example, they were selling rat meat and like skunk meat as if it was other kinds of meat. Can't do that. And again, it came down to greed. They said, hey, there's a rat. If we kill the rat and sell that meat, we'll make more money than if we actually, get whatever kind of meat they say they're selling. There was this toxic honey laundering scheme, as they called it. So there's this like fake honey with all types of disastrous toxic chemicals in it that people were selling in the U.S., and they were selling it for rock bottom prices. The reason it was rock bottom prices is because it wasn't even honey. It was like a honey substitute that had all unsafe levels of antibiotics and this chemical and that chemical. And this is what happens when the government is not efficient in doing their job and regulating business. So you need to absolutely positively have the FDA, efficiently regulate business, and then also if anything happens to slip through the cracks, well, then you need to punish these people in a very harsh way so that you disincentivize people from doing it in the future. So they know, hey, if I fuck around with the health and safety of other people, society's going to look at me like I am a murderer. And it's a stigma attached to it where I know I cannot do that because I need to save my name, I need to save my pride, and I need to save my brand.